Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have a bunch of new polling data to share with you guys. I have details about conversations taking place with minority voters who have really stepped in it with their vote and now realize that. So this is getting worse for Trump and the Republicans. Before I get into all the great news, though, please do me a big favor. Hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free for you. It really, truly helps the show so much. You have no idea. So I appreciate that. So here's where things stand after that complete and total wipeout that the Republicans experienced last week in the elections. Emerson College just released the findings of a poll that they conducted on November 3rd and November 4th, and it was all bad news for MAGA. And keep in mind, as I share these results, Emerson leans right. So the truth is probably even worse for Trump and his minions, but this poll always favors them. So first is Donald Trump's job approval rating. It's back down where it was when he first took office, according to their poll. So take a look at this. As you guys can see, he is now at 41% approval, 49% disapproval. So it's just getting worse and worse. You can see like he broke even in April, and then it just started getting worse and worse for him. Even as his approval rating ticked up a bit, his disapproval rating was creeping up as well. Now they're completely going in the opposite directions. Not what you want to do, not what you want to see. This next one is brutal as well. So they asked who voters would support as the Republican presidential nominee in 2028. And J.D. Vance had the highest score. Look at this chart. Donald Trump is going to lose his shit over this. He has 7% as of now. Whereas, as you see, J.D. Vance is at 54%. So that is going to piss him off to no end. You know how he has such a fragile ego, and to think that his VP is outshining him. Yeah, JD Vance better duck, because there's some ketchup coming his way. I have a feeling. Emerson also asked, will your midterm vote be an expression of support for Donald Trump, or will you be voting in opposition of Donald Trump? Take a look. A plurality, 43%, said they're voting to oppose Donald Trump. So as you can see here, 29.2% said, oh no, I'm actually going to vote to support Trump's agenda. The majority, or not majority, but again, a plurality of 43% said, no, I want to show my opposition. So the energy and the motivation is much greater with the voters who dislike Trump and want to send a message to him to stop what he's doing. And once again, we see that even though the Democrats have a much lower approval rating than the Republican Party, they still have an advantage in the midterms, at least in this poll. So obviously, you know, you can see here, it's not huge. 44% said they'll vote for Democrats. 40% said that they're going to vote for the Republican candidate in the midterms. Again, this is a right-leaning pollster. So the fact that Democrats are up at all tells you something. And then again, you know, we've been seeing this trend. This is not an outlier. Right? I shared with you guys, I think it was just last week, that NBC came out with their poll showing that the Democrats had an 8-point lead over the Republicans for the midterms. And then Emerson also wrote this in their report. So check this out. At least part of it says, quote, since his inauguration, Trump has lost support among key groups. Republican voters' approval decreased 12 points from 91% to 79%, and his disapproval intensified among independent voters from 44% to 51%, And Hispanics went from 39% disapproval to 54% disapproval. So he is losing every group that he needs in order for the Republicans to win in the midterms. We also got some good news out of Texas. Like I said the other day about another state, we don't hear that very often, right? But so there was this poll that was commissioned. It was a bipartisan nationwide poll commissioned by Unidos US, I think is how you pronounce it. So they spoke with registered Hispanic voters. So they polled nationwide, they polled a lot of people, but out of the huge, number of people that they polled across the country, they narrowed in and wrote this article about the 400 Hispanic voters that they spoke to, specifically in the state of Texas, which is kind of an important state, especially since they're doing their redistricting, right? So their answers should definitely worry the Republicans. 66% of these respondents disapprove of Trump's performance in his job. 66%. 64% blame Trump and the Republicans for the shutdown, which I guess is over now, thanks to a bunch of idiots. And only 21% of them blame the Democrats. And check this out. 81% said that they're concerned about the lack of checks and balances on Trump. Also, 66% said they don't feel that Trump and the Republican lawmakers are focusing on the economy enough. So there's that. The vast majority also said that they disapprove of Trump's, of the Supreme Court's decision to allow ICE agents to racially profile people of color. And as you can see, 73% agreed with that. 73% said, no, this is not right, should not be done. Even 44%, look at that, 44% of the Republicans, registered Republican voters, Hispanic Texas registered Republican voters in the state of Texas said, no, we disagree with that ruling. This pollster also asked about the midterms, and it's not good. A majority, 53%, said, I will vote for the Democratic candidate. Only 28% said, I'm going to vote for the Republican. Like I said, this is such bad news for the Republicans, given the fact that they are specifically in the midst of redistricting and trying to hold on to Donald Trump's Hispanic voters that he picked up in the midterms. They could not have made a bigger miscalculation if they tried. And I'm adding some other images to share with you guys because this program that I'm using, I can only add 10 at a time. So I apologize that I'm looking away, but yeah, they miscalculated big time, bigly on this redistricting. They just assumed that, oh yeah, these people are always going to stick with us. And here's the thing. In this poll also, what they found is that almost 20% of the Trump voters, the Hispanic Texas Trump voters, said they now regret their vote. And they said if they had it to do over again, that they would not do it. Some said maybe I probably would not vote again for him. And then a bunch of them, most of them said, no, I would definitely not vote for him again. So again, total miscalculation. He's doing everything he can to drive these people away. And check out this related poll. So Ipsos conducted a Latinos only survey for Axios. And an overwhelming number of the respondents said basically that they feel unwelcome now in the United States. Look at these shifts. So the arrows are pointing in the direction that the sentiment is now going. So as you see on the left-hand side is how they're feeling in October of 2025. In March of 2024, as you can see here, 54% of Hispanic Democrats said or is it 57, excuse me, 57% of registered Democrats said that it was a good time to be a Democrat in the United States last year. Look at where it is now, 16%. A similar number, as you can see here, a similar number of independent Hispanic voters said in March of 2024, I think it's 56%, if I can read that properly, said it's a good time to be a Latino in the United States. It is now only 30% among independents. And it's not just Hispanic Trump voters who are expressing regret, as I kind of alluded to at the beginning. So the Miami Herald, they reported on a conversation that was held in a barber shop in Miami, Florida. They spoke with 6 Black men who either voted for Trump or abstained from voting last year. And the Herald had spoken with these men right after Donald Trump's victory last year. And this was kind of a follow-up to that conversation to see, how are you feeling now that you've experienced almost 11 months of this fun Trump regime? So one of the men that they spoke with was Paul Wilson Jr. He is running for office down in Miami. And he told the reporter, quote, "If I told you so was a person, this would be the epitome of that. To see all of these things that are currently unfolding with regard to the rollback of civil rights and the rest of it, to know that this was predicted and told to us a year ago, and to watch it come to fruition is scarily humorous." Why it's humorous, I don't know. But then Wilson also said that a lot of people in the community are facing the consequences of their choice now. And he said, quote, "That decision is coming back to bite all of us. Whether we thought that decision would impact us directly or not. I hear and see a lot of buyer's remorse these days." You don't say. And then another man that they spoke with was Reuben Roberts, and he said, quote, "I'm very hopeful because sometimes somebody got to put their foot on your neck for you to understand what's going on. Right now, the foot is all up on your neck. So now, what are you going to do?" And the journalist said that some of the other men were nodding along as these 2 men were speaking. And the owner of the barber shop told them, haircuts have now become a luxury item for some of his clients. He told them that instead of having their kids' haircut every 2 weeks, parents are now backing it off to like every 5 weeks. And the Miami Herald pointed out national unemployment for Black people specifically, it hit 7.5% in August. It's always higher for Black people. And so 7.5% this August, just a few months ago, that's an increase over last August of 1.4%. And they said also 300,000 Black women have left the job market. So that has a domino effect. That impacts the community at large. If you're leaving the workforce, if you can't find employment, that is going to affect everything and everyone around you, not just your immediate family. It's going to impact all of the stores that you used to shop at, all of the, the grocery stores, the clothing stores, restaurants you used to patron. So not good. There's also more cause for concern for Republicans too, because there was a November 5th YouGov poll that found that a significant plurality of voters expect the Democrats to win in the midterms. So check this out. Look at that. 41% of the respondents said, yeah, I think Democrats will take control of the House. Only 30% said, I think the Republicans are going to retain their majority. And then check this out. This one's really bad. So this is a compilation of polls that was put together by Real Clear Politics. Trump has a negative job approval rating with every single pollster, even the ones that lean right. So Rasmussen, as you guys can see here, I don't know if you can make it out, they have him underwater by 7 points. They are hardcore MAGA. Like, they skew hard to the right. Even, Morning Consult skews to the right. They have him at -7%. I mean, it's bad. On average, if you see at the top there, he is at -11.3 if you take an average of all the polls. So things are going really great for him, aren't they? I see the comments sometimes from, MAGA people who hate watch the show or just at least skulk around and, oh, he's the most popular president ever. He has the best numbers. Like, are you seriously that ignorant? I mean, really, I have to ask, are you seriously that deaf, dumb, and blind? Is your head so far up Donald Trump's ass that you seriously don't know what's going on? Low information voters. And then they get pissed if you call them that. But it's like, what do you want us to call you? You're clearly not availing yourself of real information, of the data that's out there. It's not hard to find. So anyway, guys, I will keep you posted. I'll let you know because there are new polls coming out on the daily pretty much. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe if you have not. Please donate if you possibly can. It really helps to keep the show going. Greatly appreciate all of you. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.